Hello, everybody. What's up? What's up? It is your guy Z Fly. That's right. Another Wednesday, a wondering Wednesday. That is. That's right. I'm so glad that you all are tuning in today for this wondering Wednesday. I have a really, really great topic. But before we get into all of that, I do just want to say thank you so much because I actually been seeing you all tuning into my lives at fives and commenting. So hopefully, I'm gonna take that as a good sign that my advice or motivation or inspiration or whatever is actually helping some people or making you all think or whatever it may be. I definitely want to shout out my LinkedIn followers. I do see that Live at Five is very positive on LinkedIn. I see a lot of people, they really like the Live at Five. So I just want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. Speaking of tuning in, I would definitely love for you to go ahead and follow me on my social media. That's right. There it go, right there, scrolling at the bottom. So that way, you can be involved and know what's happening with the Live at Fives and more. So definitely check it out. I have my YouTube, my website, all of that great stuff scrolling right here at the bottom. Also, too, I do want to remind everybody that September is actually Gynecologic Cancer Awareness Month. So, if you are familiar with Fly Entertainment, we have a charity initiative where we raise awareness on women diagnosed or living with endometrial cancer. So, I created a project called the Lavender Project that does just that. So, you can definitely go to the website, which is right there, scrolling right there. And check out our merchandise. Yeah, the Lavender Project. Yeah. Living effectively, victoriously, incredibly, nutritiously, dutifully, acknowledgedly with endometrial cancer. That's right. I'm wearing the shirt today. There you go. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. So, yeah. So, September is Gynecologic Cancer Awareness Month. A lot of you all may didn't even know that. And you may say, okay, well, gynecologic cancer, okay, I get it, but why is it so important? Well, because gynecologic cancers are the cancers that affect and attack a woman's reproductive organs. So, a lot of times, women, they're not even aware of these cancers because, next month, which is October, we're going to hear a lot about breast cancer, which is also very important. But, but a lot of people, you'll hear breast cancer, colon cancer, lung cancer, things like that. But you're not hearing much about these gynecologic cancers, and they are very, very important. So September is dedicated to raising awareness, and the Lavender Project is also raising awareness specifically on endometrial cancer, which is one of the gynecologic cancers. So if you do go to our website, like I said, you can get some cool merch. That's right. You see, I got a lavender. Oh, well, you can't see it now, but all that light. Okay, anyway, point is, got some mugs for you, everybody. Got a lavender mug and so much more. Like I said, got the shirts, pens, water bottles, mouse pads, bags. So yeah, got some cool things. So definitely go out. Everything that's purchased, anything that's purchased or donated help support the Foundation for Women's Cancer. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Okay, so I definitely just wanted to go ahead and pop that in there for this Wondering Wednesday for Gynecologic Cancer Awareness Month. All right, but now let's go ahead and really dive into what the topic is going to be for the Wondering Wednesday. All right, let's get into it. So today, everybody, I'm going to be talking about let me see, it's coming. It's coming. It's a live show, everybody. Here we go. Now, do you ever wonder how your ancestors will react if they could see the life you're living today? Now, I got a tissue beside me because you know why? Because I don't know why, but for some reason, this always makes me very emotional whenever I think of topics like this. Now, if you're aware with my show, Keeping It Real Hot and Fresh, I have a segment called I Am My Ancestors' Wildest Dream. And that segment was created because I've heard it once upon a time. Now, I'm pretty sure it goes back further, but I heard it from the singer Alicia Keys. Like she had posted at one time, and I don't know what it was about her, seeing her posted that it just touched me. It just really did something to me because you know why? Because I just be thinking of, wow, I think of the ancestors, and I think of like what they went. Look at that. Beautiful. I think of what they went through and endured you know what I'm saying, to for hopefully one day their descendants, which is us, could have could live their dream. You know, I just think of like those people who just had it bad, you know, bad living situations, bad eating situations. You know, they didn't, you know, listen, they wasn't like us, you know, listen, laying around on the couch. I'm hungry. Listen, let me hit a Uber Eats, or oh, let me walk down to the bodega, or let me do Instacart and get all my groceries. I mean, you know, they were out in the fields, you know, getting their food. You know, they was like killing animals and, you know, having to, you know, shed them, not shed them, but what do you call it? Anyway, you know, they had to go out and actually kill their food. You know, now we just sit back and let farmers or whomever kill the food or whatever, get the food right and produce it to put it in stores where we could just easily go buy it. So yes, you know, are your ancestors proud of you today? Now, I want you all to really wonder and ponder on this. Because listen, I know that a lot of us now, we are complaining daily. Yeah, you're complaining daily. Oh, this ain't right. Oh, I ain't got no money. Oh, I don't like the president. Oh, the government this. Oh, I don't like my family. Oh, my children bad. You know, all this complaining instead of really just being so thankful. Because like our ancestors, goodness, they had things to complain about. And when I say ancestors, you know, I'm not just talking about black people. You know, who's ever watching my show, whether you're Asian or Caucasian or whatever you are, you know, your ancestors as well. And history will have us to believe that the Caucasians didn't have it bad. But listen, there are Caucasians in history that had it bad, especially the ones, you know, who because and I have an Australian friend, and she has a family in Hungary, and she was talking about, you know, their upbringing, and it wasn't all that good. Transylvania, I think in Transylvania, they still ain't got no electricity. You know, that had to be a choice. But anyway, but yeah, so I just want you to really think about your ancestors and like really think about your life. And listen, yes, we may be going through things, but I want you to compare what you're going through to your ancestors. Like really compare the two. You know what I'm saying? What you're going through compared to your ancestors. And I don't know, you know, and I just say, and even with the society being the way it is, um, you can really turn things around. Look, not only do we honor our ancestors, but we live honorably because we are somebody's future ancestors. Oh, okay. Now, wait a minute now. Now, wait. My team in the back. Listen, let me get my little tissue because y'all ain't about to have me up here crying. Oh, my goodness. That's deep. You know why? Because you listen, every so often, I do kind of think of that too. I do kind of think of like, what legacy am I leaving? You know, I think of Fly Entertainment. You know, like what do I want Fly Entertainment? What I want people to know about Fly Entertainment eons from now. Like, oh wow, you know, this brand, this company did this and it was positive and you know, or what do I want to know about Z Fly, about me? I often think like we're in 2025 now, and I think of things like 3025 or 3000. You know, some of us may not be living. Do you ever think of like those years like that, the year 3000, and then you'll be thinking of how old you'll be or how old you won't be because you won't be here no more. Or you think of your parents or your people that you know now who may not. You know, I mean, this is powerful. This is very powerful. So that's why people listen. I know that we love to turn up and we love to drink and we love to party and we love to smoke and all this kind of stuff. You know, have our recreational time, but we also we got to think beyond the present, beyond the moment. And you got to think of the future. You got to think of the past. How would my ancestors be thinking of me today? I mean, shoot, you know, I'm just saying, you know, for some people, you know, just think, you know, all I do is drink and party. You know, all I do is create spicy content. You know, all I do is rob people or do crimes. You know, what will my ancestors think? And then think of your future, the future, what it just said, you know. how will my children's children or my great, my descendants, whenever they think back on me, what would they see? What would they learn? What would they know? Oh, yeah, it really makes you wonder. Yeah, this is a wondering Wednesday, people. This earth is the dust of okay, you can read it. So this earth is the dust of our ancestors' bones, and her righteousness is perpetrated by or what did I say? Perpetrated by our integrity, reverence, and respect. Mm-hmm. Perpetuated. I said perpetrated. Woo, probably that too. Shoot, but yeah, and it's time that this earth is the dust of our ancestors. And see see what I'm saying. See, we don't be a lot of times we don't think that deep. Now there are people who think that deep, but there's a lot of people who don't think that deep because you're too busy worried about what you know what I'm saying. What the Kardashians doing, you know what I'm saying. What the Carters are doing. You know, what's the latest Jordans that's coming out? You know, it's NFL season, but we're not thinking deep. Yeah, like just think about it. We're walking on the ashes, the dirt, the dust, the sand of our ancestors. That's really deep. That is really deep. So I really want you all to just wonder and just ponder on, are you like, how are you showing up in society? How are you showing up in the world? Excuse me, we all have a purpose. That we all do have a purpose. Even the people who feel so depressed and down and out and feel like, nobody sees you, nobody recognizes you. You have a purpose. And a lot of times finding our purpose isn't the easiest thing for a lot of people. But I have heard and I've kind of learned that sometimes if you just kind of get away from the noise, get away from people, the excitement, the all that stuff, just sit quietly, you can really start to hear yourself think. And a lot of times people will say, that's God that's talking to you. But if you always just partying and always intoxicated, under the influence, you can never hear nothing. Your ancestors count on you to remember them. Isn't that something? Wow. I tell you, I just be thinking of just what they went through. And, and just the things they didn't have. Like, look at us today. Like, for example, look what I'm doing right now. I'm actually coming to you all live from this device. I'm able to get my voice out to hundreds of thousands to millions, whoever tuned into this show, different countries, different regions, different islands, all while I'm sitting right here in my living room on this messed up couch. Y'all see these pillows keep messing up? Yeah, but the point is, our ancestors could only dream these type of things. I mean, are you kidding me? You over there in Africa somewhere, over there in India, over there in New Zealand, over there in Canada, wherever, and and you think like, oh yeah, there'll be a device where I could talk to people in a whole nother country. No, by just sitting in my living room. No. So we are our ancestors' wildest dream, and they have went through so much. Now, maybe not all, not all. I'm not saying everybody from the past had it bad, but but those ones who did have it kind of rough, we should really think about them more often and really show up differently for them. Like I said, listen, I'm not saying every single day you're just gonna be happy-go-lucky, but even in your down times, don't be so down where it's just that you just don't care anymore. Because like I said, like a lot of ancestors, they didn't have the choice to be lazy. They didn't have the choice to just lay around. They had, so they had a, like a whoop in their back or something. So by people being so free today and able to move around and travel and do a lot of things, yeah, we should definitely look at things a lot differently. Your ancestors count on you to remember them. And if you forget the ancestors, you know what I'm saying, all you worry about is the here and now. Forgot you. Look, people may hate you for being different. Oh, this is good. People may hate you for being different and not living by society's standards. But deep down, they wish they had the courage to do the same. That is so true. Now, listen, I tell y'all, I call myself peculiar, and peculiar means being different, strange, whatever. But we'll go with different. So yeah, I like peculiar. Yeah, exactly. Like for me, I thought that's me. Because I remember, like, even with my journey, I've had so many friends and family members tell me, "Oh wow, I wish I could do what you do. You live in New York. You do this. You have your show. You have your brand. Do. Yeah, they wish they're wishing upon a star. Now they could do those things for themselves, whatever they want to do. But a lot of times people just get stuck. And I thought, since it's people. So yeah, so it's okay to be peculiar. It's okay to be different, because sometimes when I be looking at some of these people, oh God, they're all the same. Like for example, I look at guys. Not all, but some guys. They're all dressing the same. They're all talking the same. They're all thinking the same. Same thing with some girls. They're all talking, doing the same, and it's just like, where's the individuality? I love to see individuality with people. Because the people that make you be like, wow, look at this person. Okay, I see you, but now all you seeing is the same people. I always say that a lot of times people are like Twitter, because they follow, they're like little Twitter followers, like just like little birdies following, the so-called main leader. It's ridiculous. So yes, everybody. So yeah. So once again, people may hate you for being different and not living by society's standards, but deep down they wish they had the courage to do the same. So be you. Listen, it's okay to not, be like everybody else. Because like I said, think of your ancestors. And even though you may not even know who they are, who cares? Just know you got some. If you're living, you came from some bloodline. So just know you got some ancestors, and maybe those people who came from a very rich bloodline. Okay, but still, they didn't have everything that we have today, so they might have struggled somewhere. Yeah, and they might have been living rich in their time, but they weren't able to get an Uber Eats. Somebody had to go slaughter a cow, slaughter a lamb. So anyway, so that is your Wondering Wednesday. That's a nice looking background. I'm so random. I'm sorry, y'all. Listen, well, no, I meant my background. Mine. That's nice. I feel like, listen, yeah, when I saw, I was like, okay, I'm in LA right now. Okay, I'm in LA. I need to be in LA for real. But see, also that's another thing. Listen, if I wanted to, I can go do the show live from LA. You know what I'm saying? So listen, our ancestors, they can only dream of things like this. Like, what? You're doing a what? From where? You would listen, if we were to take a time machine back to the past, they probably would kill us. Yeah, because they would never even think, they would think like we're some ghost or like some witch or warlock, what I'm saying, from the future, talking about computers and cars and airplanes. They'd be like, there go a witch, kill it. They talking crazy. And listen, we'll try to tell them what's up in the future, but they'll just kill us. TVs, flat screens, all this stuff, social media, apps. They will kill us, y'all. All right. So hopefully you all enjoyed this Wondering Wednesday. Hopefully it gave something to wonder about, to ponder on, and think a little differently. Remember, it's okay to be peculiar. It's okay to be different. Why be the same? Yeah, yes, it's being the same. You might fit in a little bit better, but at the end of the day, you don't stand out. You just like the rest. You ain't nothing important about you. So be different. All right. And I am your guys, Z Fly. So once again, be sure to follow me on my social media for all of that great new content that I will be dropping. Sure. Also, to remember, this is Gynecologic Cancer Awareness Month, so be sure to go to my website and check out the Lavender Project. If you click on Giving is Good at the top, you'll get to read all about Lavender Project, the mission and what it's for. There you go. That right there. Yeah. Follow that right there. fly-entertainment.media/philanthropy. And it'll take you right to the Lavender Project. You can read all about endometrial cancer, And from there, you will get to see the Foundation for Women's Cancer, which is the beneficiary of the Lavender Project. So, yeah, it's Gynecologic Cancer Awareness Month. Get into it. But until next time, everybody, enjoy your week. Be safe, stay fly, not too high. Bye-bye. I thought a little banner would come on.